What's going on, guys? So I'm back again with another video. For this video, as the title says, I'm gonna give an in-depth review of the interior of the Honda Civic Type R, and I'm also gonna give you guys my opinion as well, what I like about the car, or if there's something that I'm not a big fan of the car, I'm gonna let you guys know and give you guys my perspective. Let's jump right into the video. All right, so jumping right into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, this is my 2019 Honda Civic Type R. It is red. The color is called Rally Red. Let's jump into the interior. So if you guys don't know, this car is keyless, so as soon as you put your hand behind the door, it unlocks for you if you have the key in your pocket. I gotta say that one thing that I really love about the Honda Civic Type R, the interior. It stands out a lot in your face, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and it makes it very unique compared to any other sports car, or mainly any sports car Honda has really came out with. So it has this very own unique detail to it. Jumping into it, let's talk about the door. So as you guys can see, this is the door. It has some like matte carbon weave to it. It has the little red outline to it. It has like this Alcantara material on it. It's very different. I've never felt like an Alcantara like this before on any car. Very different. They have the little red stitching right there. Of course, you have your window controls, the mirrors, etc. You got some pockets right here to put some stuff in. You got your speaker right here. You also have this Honda Civic Type R accessory that I did, the door seals. It does not come with the car, but it is a nice touch at nighttime when you get in the car and prevent you from hitting your leg when you're trying to step out from here or over that side skirt. That is pretty neat. The other thing is this steering wheel. This is pretty dope and unique. It is a leather wrapped steering wheel. It has the red in the middle right here. It has the JDM emblems stock from the factory, which is pretty dope and sick. It looks very unique. Has some more carbon up here. Got the little red trim all around it. You got your vents right there. Got another vent right there as well. You got your traction control button. You got your low beams, high beams. You also have an auto, which is pretty dope. So much stuff in here. It looks amazing. You got your hazards in the middle right there. You got some more of that red trim that goes over. You got that cluster right there. You can see those two red lines at the top. That looks sick. And the cluster kind of looks like you're in like a pilot jet or something that has that little cover. It looks pretty sick. It looks very unique. And of course, you got the head unit. I believe they have this head unit in the Sport, the SI, and the Type R. That is pretty dope. I'm gonna get into more about the head unit. It also has the climate control, which has individual climate for each side, the driver's side and the passenger side. That's pretty dope. This also has the wireless charging, which was an interior add-on that they have available from Honda that I put in this car. That is pretty sick. And over here you got more of that carbon for the passenger side and vents, and then you also got that red trim, so that is pretty sick. As you can see on the other side, you still got those same functions, the door switches. You also got a tweeter on the side where that mirror is, you can see. You also have the manual shifter right here, 6-speed manual. You also have the Civic Type R logo with your badge number, which looks pretty sick and unique. You also have the brake hold, the parking brake. You have your R plus mode, sport is in the middle, and you have comfort right there. That's pretty dope. And then you also have right here where the armrest is actually a little bit longer. Looks very unique. The whole like shifter column thing looks like it's floating in the middle of the air. You also have like a little cubby and USB port down there, and you also have your cigarette lighter on the other side. And I'm gonna get you guys a close-up of that. This is like an Alcantara as well for your armrest. Looks very sick with the red stitching, and it also matches the seat as well. You also have this little light right here. Is another addition interior light that I installed inside of the car, which lights up at night and it looks very unique and dope. Let's get back up here to your steering wheel. As you guys can see, you have your volume for your radio right here. You have all your configurations to get through all the options. You have a button to get through your options you have for the whole cluster and everything, and I'm gonna show you guys that in a second. You have a hang up, different functions, voice. You also have cruise control. You can set whatever numbers you guys want, stuff like that. It has a red stitching up here, looks very dope and unique as well. And you also have this gloss black piece right here. So on the 2019s, they made this piece gloss black, and it also put a little light for the emergency brake, so you can see an indication of emergency brake light on basically, and also has the LED glove box. So another thing they put in here was a volume knob, a manual one. They had a touch screen in the previous models, but I guess they put a knob in to make it very easier to control the volume while you're driving instead of having to use a touchscreen. So one thing I really love about the car is these seats. As you guys can see, the seats are red, and it has the actual logo of the car, Type R, which looks very sick. And it has this outline of the R in white, and then in the middle red, and then it has that white stitching on the sides. Looks very unique. But what's really dope about this is basically it's a semi bucket seat, similar to like a lot of high-end cars or sports cars. They have Recaros, so mainly Recaro seats have padding up here for your shoulders to hug you, right here on your sides, right here to hug you. You also have some by your thighs to hug you. So semi bucket seats are reclinable, so you can recline the back of it. A full-on bucket seat is a bucket seat where you cannot recline in, but it has more of a dip, so it kind of feels like you're sitting in a bucket. It also gives you all the little padding and stuff, so you do not move in the seat. But a semi bucket seat, you're able to recline it, which is dope. So I love semi bucket seats. I actually have one in my 8th gen Honda Civic Si. I actually love the way Honda did this seat. It is amazing. You can recline it, you can make it adjust to go up a little bit higher. It is amazing. The bolsters help a lot and feel very comfortable when you sit inside of the car. It hugs your thighs really good, it hugs your sides really good, it hugs your shoulders really good, and it makes you feel snug in the seat and feel comfortable for long drives and everything. Definitely say Honda did an amazing job with the design of the seat and the colorways they went with the white, black, and red, similar to like how the JDM emblem is, but it has like a red and chrome look to it. So that looks amazing and beautiful. It's very good. And of course, my car being red, it matches it perfectly. Also, as you guys can see, for the passenger side, there is a red seat belt. And yes, guys, this car does come with red seat belts all around, and it looks amazing and very unique. I think this might be the first Honda that actually put a red seatbelt in, so that is pretty unique and dope as well. All right, let's head to the back of the car. Same thing as the front. You have that red stitching. The texture on the back is a little bit different from the driver's side, so this is kind of like a different texture. It's the same as how the back seats are. It's not Alcantara, it's some type of cloth material that they use for the rear of the car, but it still looks very clean and nice, and it looks dope. It has another speaker in the rear of the passenger, which is pretty dope, and it also has an extra tweeter. This is how the back of the seat looks. It actually has like a matte carbon weave on the back of the seat. That is sick. It's pretty dope that they have like the holes back here through the seats to put like a 4-point harness, so you can hook it up back here and you can take your car to the track, and you will have more of a secure feeling being held down into the seat. So that is pretty dope. This is how the back seat look. You guys can see it has that rear stitching. As I was telling you guys about the door, this has this cloth for the rear, and over here it kind of has like this carpet to it on the side, which I'm not too big of a fan of. And this cloth material that they put on it, sometimes when you push on it, it kind of like leaves an imprint a little bit, but then it goes away. And only basically 2 people can sit back here, and there's 2 cup holders and then some storage. So this is basically not a 5-seater. I don't see how someone can sit in the middle of that and have no seatbelt and everything. So only basically 2 people could fit back here. I do wish they went with like a different material for the rear of the car, like an Alcantara, but again, more than likely a lot of people are not going to have people in the back seat, so it is what it is. One unique feature I did like is they kept the red seat belts. I really like that feature that Honda did. I also see they have some red stitching back here as well, going up to the headrest, so that looks very dope and unique. Also see they got some red stitching in the middle right here. Looks pretty cool. The armrest slides forward and backwards. Same carbon on the passenger side as well. So let's head to the rear of the car. So when you head to the rear of the car, as you guys can see, it has the dampeners for the hatch to help open up the hatch. When you actually look up, you can see it actually comes with this cover for the back window, so you can hide what kind of stuff you have back here. And as you guys can see, this glass is pretty big, so that's how it looks from the side. Looks like that. And it also has this other cover right here. You also have this cover right here where you can also put over so you can hide whatever you have back here. So you can also lift it up, pull it across, leave it sit there. You can have it open like that. So that is pretty unique that it comes with that. And you have all of the space back here of the hatch. It looks like you could fit probably 4 wheels back here depending on the size. So if you want to have a track there or anything, you have plenty of space. This is the cargo tray you could get from Honda. I put it back here so nothing gets banged up back here when I put groceries. There are little things back here. That's how the back of the seats look. This car does have a subwoofer. The subwoofer is right here, as you can see, and there is the light for the back of the hatch. Super dope. The other side just looks like this. I honestly like what Honda did with the hatch design with all of the space back here. It definitely did an awesome job. It looks dope and unique. All right guys, as you can see, we're in the Civic Type R. Man, these bolsters feel amazing, and it has like a little bit more dip, so it covers the back of your leg very good and make you feel very comfortable in the car when you sit in it. This car also has push to start, so the button is right here. It looks pretty dope. You press it once, you can see it turns red and it tells you what to do to start engine, clutch, and push the engine start button. If you turn it on again, it turns it on to the on position. And that's how the digital cluster looks. It looks freaking amazing. It comes up and it shows you shift light, and then everything comes up. That is pretty sick as well. As you guys can see, that's the temperature on that side. This is the RPMs gauge. You have your miles per hour. As you guys can see, it redlines at around 7,000 RPMs, which is pretty dope. It tells you what mode you're in. You're in sport. That little square shows you what gear you're in, so you don't have to look at the shifter. You just got to look at the screen if you want to know really quick what gear you're in. That is pretty dope. It tells you the temperature outside, how many miles you have on the car, what time it is, and the front of the gauge cluster. That is pretty dope. And it tells you if your emergency brake is up and how much gas you have left. And then it has the trip, so you could tell what oil level is at. Turn the brightness of the gauge cluster, so that is pretty dope. And it also has those little 2 lines up top that gives it a unique look as well, so that is pretty dope. You got your head unit right here. You got the home, the map, the audio, the phone, the back. You have the volume shift knob that you can adjust it manually. You have the audio, you press it, you can turn the whole thing off. So if you guys didn't know, this car comes with this kind of head unit. It's basically like an Android tablet, so you can install like different apps and stuff. You can install YouTube, Netflix, Waze, Google Maps. It also has Apple CarPlay, so you can hook your iPhone to it and it will pull all the contacts, your messages, and you can look up the address on your phone and then it will present on the screen. So that's basically how Apple CarPlay works. You plug a USB into the bottom down here, you plug your phone in, and basically you can run Apple CarPlay, which there's like a setting where it says smartphone connection, but it says you got to connect the USB. So you click that and that's how Apple CarPlay works. It's a pretty dope, neat feature. With that being said, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, so I believe this head unit comes in the Sport, the SI, and the Type R. So if you guys didn't know this, you can actually, since it's basically an Android tablet, and if you guys are into computers technology as well. With Androids, you can do a lot of little mods and hack into the head unit, and you can install actual little apps that can help you add a little bit neat features to the car. So you can hack the head unit in this car and add different apps and stuff, and you can play it straight from the head unit. So if you guys didn't know that, you know that now. So that is a pretty cool feature. I'm gonna share that with you guys later on. If you guys want me to make a whole video on all the features of the head unit, comment below please. I know it could be a very lengthy video going into all of these features. Of course, you can connect through Apple CarPlay, you connect your phone through Bluetooth, you can connect the USB iPod as well to it. This car do have 12 speakers in here, and it has a sub including two, as I showed you guys in the rear. So it has a lot of speakers in here. It has one actually in the middle right there, so pretty unique. That's a lot of speakers. In my opinion, that I am not a big fan of the stereo system in this car. I feel like the stereo system can have a little bit more bump to it, especially with having 12 speakers, which is a lot of speakers and a subwoofer. In my opinion, it doesn't have that much of a bump, but I do understand that this is a track focused sports car, so that is understandable. But I will be sharing with you guys in upcoming videos that there is a way you can make that better and adjust the settings. So I'm gonna share that in a video coming soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the car in reverse, and as you guys can see, it has a rear view camera. A lot of new cars in today's day and age has rear view cameras, which is pretty dope. It helps you out a lot. As you guys can see, the 8th-gen Honda Civic Si, and it has different views. So it has this view, it has like a little backup view so you can see how close you are to that curb. It has a wide angle view, and then it has more of a longer wide angle view. But in my opinion, this one works pretty good because you can tell how close you're right to the car, especially with the lines being right there and when you have to stop. So that is pretty dope and unique to have this feature as well. All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the car on, push the clutch in, make sure the car is in neutral, and all you got to do is push the clutch in, press the engine start button, and the car will start for you. See, you still have your dome lights right here in the car. It does have like this little red light that shines down at the shifter, which is pretty neat. And then of course you still have your map light back here, which is pretty dope. And then in here, if you guys didn't know, you still have your sun visors, and they come with a mirror and a vanity light as well. So as you guys can hear, the car is on. It is pretty quiet. All you really hear is the engine, so that is pretty dope. I will say this car definitely has some really good insulation inside of the car, and if someone's talking outside, you can barely hear them. You also have these little hooks on the side if you want to hang like a shirt or something up. Here is the glove box with the new 2019 glove box light, so that's pretty dope. Here is the new 2019 update where it has a light now for the 2019 model that indicates that the emergency brake is up. Let's talk about the features for the cluster. As you guys can see right here, we have the infotainment center for the cluster. So as you guys can see, you hit the I and then you get into the middle. Let's hit enter. So basically this is your throttle position, so it tells you how much percentage of gas you're giving it. As you guys can see, as I rev it, it goes up, and this is how much for braking. So every time I press that brake, it tells you how much PSI times 100, a brake pressure that I'm pushing down, and it tells you how much throttle percentage I'm giving. So that is a pretty neat feature as well. Let's go back and see what else we have. We have like a little turbo gauge as well. As you click enter, it shows you like a little gauge, and it shows you your boost pressure. As you guys can see, it also tells you how much PSI. Right now the car's standing still, so it's -9. So if you give it some gas, it goes up some. So that is pretty dope that it shows you how much pounds of boost the car is pushing when you're driving and stuff like that. So that is a pretty dope that comes as a standard and a little feature right there in front of the gauge. As you guys can see, the max is 23 PSI, so that is pretty amazing and dope. The next feature will be your shift light. Looks like that. It has yellow, then orange, then red. Then when it gets up to like 4K, it starts to show yellow. And then when it gets close to that 7 grand next to red line, it gets all the way to red to flashing. And then it indicates you when to shift and keep an eye on the road at the same time. So that's pretty dope. This is for the G-force. So as you guys can see, it kind of looks like a compass. So while the car is actually moving, it'll be like a tiny yellow dot in the middle that will be actually shaking and moving and telling you the numbers of G-force the car is hitting in different corners and stuff like that. Then you also have a stopwatch, so you can actually hit the enter to start the stopwatch on a track or circuit, and before you go over the line, you can press the middle and see how fast you went through the track. And then you also have your range until you run out of fuel. So it says my range right now, which I'm probably gonna have to get fuel in a little while, is 80 miles. Average fuel is 21.8 miles per gallon. So that is pretty dope. It calculates how much miles per gallon you're getting on how you're driving. So the next feature is basically like a compass, and it will tell you what street you're on. Of course, I'm not going to show you guys right now, so you guys will be able to see that. You also have a little gear, and it tells you your oil life. Mine is at 100%, as you guys can see. And then you can switch to your music, which is pretty dope. And you can see what is playing while you're driving, what station you're on. That is pretty dope, without even having to look over at the radio. So that is pretty sick. You can have your radio on, let's say the climate control, and it'll pop up on the screen because it's all touch screen. And you can also see what radio station you're listening to and toggling through. So that is pretty dope as well. And of course, you have your phone, and then you can convert your speed from miles per hour to kilometers. So that is pretty dope as well. So that is all the features. My favorite one is the turbo gauge, where it shows you how much PSI you're running and how much boost is building. That is pretty dope. That's probably my favorite feature of the car. As you guys can also see, you have the shift boot right here. It has red stitching. You have the wireless charger. When it's on, it's green. When you put your phone down there and charge your phone, it turns yellow. And then for charging, and then when it's full, it turns green again, which is pretty dope. And it lets you know that. The shift knob is aluminum, pretty nice. It has all of first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and reverse. It shows you which gear is in. You also have this cup holder right here. As you guys can see, that is pretty humongous. So I don't know what kind of drink you could be able to fit in here, but it also has one like this that you can slide and put 2 drinks, which is pretty neat. And you can unclip it and take this whole tray out, so that's pretty dope that it slides and everything. You have another room for an extra longer, taller drink. There is another USB port right down here, kind of hard to see right now, but there's another USB port right there. So there's 2 USB ports in this car. You can't slide this up. You can lift the armrest up. You can have like put change here. It has like another cubby back here, which is pretty dope. And this slides as well too. And I guess you can store some other stuff back here as well. So that is pretty sick. Has a nice bunch of little features like that. Has a bunch of little room in here. It's dope that way that you have extra room down here as well to put stuff. You can put your actual USB cable down here. The shifter's kind of like floating in the center of the console. That is pretty dope and unique as well. So this car has a lot of nice unique features. I like how this pillar is like this, so it makes it like it's floating in midair. So that is pretty dope. Engine start is red. It's just like little features that make the car stand out. All right guys, that's it for the end of the video. There's a lot of things that I love about the interior of the Civic Type R. There's only 2 minor things that I didn't like, was the rear seats, and I feel like the audio system could have been better, but everything else is an A+ for me. It is awesome. I love what Honda did to the car. It came out amazing. Comment below some things that you guys don't like about the interior, and comment some things that you guys do like about the interior as well. But if this video is very helpful, definitely smash the like button. If you guys want to see an in-depth review of the head unit, comment below if you want me to make a video about that. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to be notified a new video dropping. But that's it, guys. If there's anything that you guys want to achieve, find your inner drive. The inner drive, you take a step toward your goals every single day and make it happen. Peace.